Welcome to Resilience Radio, building wellness in Vermont and beyond. I'm your host, Irvin Eisenberg. I'm an occupational therapist and a structural integrator. In this show, I'm planning to showcase various healthcare practitioners and researchers to really get you to know different ideas and perspectives on health and well-being, and hopefully get some real concrete tools to help build individual health and community health. I started off the child of an herbalist, learning a little bit about herbal medicine. I became fascinated in the way the body moves and decided to become a dancer. So I enrolled at Bard College's dance department and quickly realized that I just didn't have the rhythm or quite enough passion to try to make it as a professional dancer. But I was still really fascinated with the body and wanting to help people. So I enrolled in massage school at the Finger Lakes School of Massage in Ithaca, New York. Now, New York State licensure is a bit finicky. They want you to learn all sorts of different healthcare modalities of massage. And my school in particular really liked to explore the different modalities of massage. So I learned hydrotherapy. I learned different energy work techniques. I learned shiatsu, which is a Chinese medicine-based practice, and we spent a good amount of time on that. I learned the traditional Swedish massage. We spent some time talking about and learning reflexology and aromatherapy. And one of the things that really stuck with me was the connective tissue therapy, which is my first experience working with the fascia of the body, which is this sinew that holds all of our muscles and bones and organs together. And when you really work with the fascia, you can start to affect structure in a way that I found that other techniques weren't doing quite the same way. So that became my passion. I came to Central Vermont, where I opened up shop as a massage therapist, specializing in this connective tissue therapy work. Moved here actually because my wife was going to Vermont Center for Integrated Herbalism, the herb school here in town in Montpelier. And I learned a little bit just by being around her and some of her herb friends and teachers and such. So I opened up my shop here in about 12 years ago. And during that time, I started to study with a Rolfer who taught me more about what it meant to really work with the connective tissue of the body. I went and I decided I needed to learn even more about that. So I trained with Tom Myers in Maine, and he was a Rolf instructor who worked with Ida Rolf. And with him, I learned some of the detailed anatomy of the fascial planes in the body. He had done a lot of cadaver labs to arrive at some of his techniques. And I do the structural integration work, which is a series of 12 sessions going through the body, lining up the fascial planes, giving people greater ease in motion, and looking at posture and trying to help people how I can. There's a lot of different aspects of being a healthcare practitioner, and I was fascinated with all of them. I started a roundtable discussion group with an acupuncturist, a naturopath, a chiropractor, a lymphatic worker, an herbalist, and we discussed different pathologies like Lyme disease and fibromyalgia from different perspectives. So I feel like I know the ABCs I can in various healthcare modalities. I decided that I wanted to help people more and went to OT school, where I became an occupational therapist and got my master's degree in occupational therapy and can now bill insurance for a lot of the work I do. The learning that medical model and communicating with doctors furthered my my scope of understanding how to communicate with healthcare practitioners. Occupational therapy is at its root looking at meaningful activities, occupation being what meaningful things occupy your time. So I can work with people in helping them be able to do their work and their play and their basic activities of daily living. My main tools, as coming from the background as a structural integrator and looking at posture and manual therapy and such, is really is really the biomechanics of the body, helping people move more smoothly. But I also work with what are your daily habits? How do you, and routines? How do you find balance in your life? Some of the psychology behind our occupations and meaningful activities. In any case, all of these things that I've trained in sort of gave me a grounding in various modalities, and ability to speak to different healthcare practitioners. Because of the research I did as an OT, I can speak to PhD researchers. I can speak to doctors. I also know from the Chinese medicine, I can talk with acupuncturists about Chinese medicine. I can talk to Ayurvedic practitioners about chakras. I can talk to energy workers about shamanism a little bit, and Reiki, and some of the Barbara Brennan science work. I can talk with reflexology people. I can talk with lymphatic workers and naturopaths. I feel like I am comfortable talking with a lot of these healthcare practitioners. And I really wish that everyone had a basic fluency in all of these different modalities, because there really is such a rich tapestry of resources available in Central Vermont, and just in general. And this show is interviewing these different practitioners so we can learn a little bit about what it is they do. We can maybe get some good advice from them and get an understanding of some of the things we can do to make ourselves more resilient and healthy as individuals and as a community. So if you're interested in hearing an interview once a week from some different person talking about health and wellness and resilience, subscribe to the podcast, and you can hear more of me and hopefully some really interesting practitioners.